Hello and welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about something that's very, very important for your prosperity in Eve, and that is the first principle of Eve. Don't fly something that you can't afford to lose. And if you've been in the game for 5 minutes, you've heard someone say that. So that's what I'm going to talk about. How do you know what you can afford to lose? And how do you make decisions so that things aren't going to sting too bad in Eve for you? Well, the first thing is that you are going to get killed in Eve. That's inevitable. Your ships are going to get blown up sometime or another. You're going to get ganked, or you're going to get hit by NPCs. So there's some pretty hard-hitting NPCs out there. You fly into the wrong location, you can be dead within seconds. You do lose ships, and it can sting. To rectify that, or to counteract that, you make sure that you're flying stuff that's within your limit to lose. And the way that I do this, the way I work this out, look at that, isn't that pretty? Is I work off the principle of a bankroll. Now this is a poker principle, the principle of a bankroll, where if you're a professional poker player, you don't bring all of your cash to the table for one tournament or one game. You instead use only a portion of it. Say you're a poker player, you have $100,000. I'm not going to bring all of that $100,000 to the table in one go. I am, I'm going to put a percentage on the line, and that's what I'm willing to bet. So maybe that's 1% of my total bankroll. So it'd be $1,000. That's what I'm prepared to bet when I go to a tournament or go to a table. Or maybe it's 5%. This is something that only you can decide, is how much you're willing to spend at any given sitting. But it means that you have a form of discipline, you have a form of protection in place for your money. And I work off that principle when I'm playing Eve. So of the total amount of money that I have, I work off a 5% principle. I won't fly anything worth more than 5% of my total bankroll, the total value that's in my wallet. Now for a new player, that's not always doable, because you might only have $1 million ISK early on in the game, or even less than that. In fact, I believe you'll have ships that are worth more than the amount of money that you'll have in your wallet. So you have to ignore this bankroll principle at the beginning of the game until you have actually made some cash. But once you do make some cash, you should really start to implement this principle as soon as possible. So if you only have $1 million ISK, you're probably going to have to fly ships worth $1 million ISK. But if you get 10 million ISK, I would still only fly ships worth a maximum of $1 million ISK. And even when I got 20 million ISK, I would still only fly ships worth 1 million ISK, because that's now implementing my 5% principle of what I'm willing to risk. This keeps you protected, means that you are not going to feel so bad when you do eventually lose a ship, and yeah, you can avoid tears. So that's a good principle to work from, and I would advise you to institute that as soon as you can. Now 5% may seem too vigorous for you. Maybe you want to choose 10% or something like that, but whatever figure you choose, you have to be prepared to live with the consequences of that and have the discipline to stick to it, and it will prevent you from rage quitting the game or something similar. So that's that's that. That's that message about how to not lose something that you can't afford to lose. So fly safe out there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by donating Plex in-game using your Plex Vault. If you are not able to give Plex, you can donate ISK. If you do donate, please make sure to flick me an email and make your donations to Exalted. That's EXZOLTED. Thanks.